Welcome to Trending Update USA. This is Stefan, and today we bring you a powerful story straight from Melbourne as Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff continue their commanding runs at the Australian Open, both reaching the fourth round in performances that reminded the tennis world exactly why these two stars sit at the very top of the women's game. Under the bright lights and relentless heat of Melbourne Park, the tournament has already delivered drama, intensity, and elite-level tennis. And Sabalenka and Gauff have been right at the center of it, turning expectation into execution and pressure into performance as they march deeper into the season's first Grand Slam. Aryna Sabalenka walked onto Laver Arena with the confidence of a defending champion and the hunger of a player who knows that repeating at a Grand Slam is one of the hardest challenges in professional tennis. From the first ball, her intent was crystal clear. The serve was explosive, the returns were aggressive, and the baseline power that has become her signature was on full display. Sabalenka dictated rallies with depth and pace, forcing her opponent into rushed decisions and uncomfortable positions. Each thunderous forehand drew gasps from the crowd, not just for its speed but for its precision, landing dangerously close to the lines time and time again. What stood out most in Sabalenka's third-round performance was not just the raw power, but the control. In past seasons, her biggest enemy was often inconsistency, moments where unforced errors would creep in and swing momentum. In this match, however, she showed maturity, patience, and a refined shot selection that kept her firmly in command. When rallies extended, Sabalenka didn't panic. She waited for the right ball, then struck decisively. When faced with break points, she leaned on her serve, producing aces and unreturnable deliveries that shut the door on any comeback hopes. As the match progressed, it became increasingly clear that Sabalenka was operating on a different level. Her footwork was sharp, her movement efficient, and her body language calm and composed. Even when challenged, she responded with authority, raising her intensity rather than letting frustration creep in. This is the version of Sabalenka that dominates hard courts, the version that lifts trophies, and the version that sends a message to the rest of the draw that the road to the title still runs directly through her. Across the grounds, Coco Gauff was crafting a statement of her own. Still just in her early 20s, Gauff continues to redefine what consistency and growth look like at the elite level. Her journey to the fourth round was marked by resilience, tactical intelligence, and an unmistakable competitive fire. From the opening games of her third-round match, Gauff's speed and anticipation set the tone. She chased down balls that seemed destined to be winners, turning defense into offense with astonishing ease. Gauff's serve, once considered a work in progress, has evolved into a reliable weapon. She mixed placements beautifully, keeping her opponent guessing and preventing any rhythm from forming on return. When rallies developed, Gauff's backhand down the line proved devastating, opening up the court and creating opportunities to finish points at the net or with sharp forehands into the corners. Her ability to change direction under pressure remains one of the most impressive aspects of her game. What truly separates Gauff, however, is her mentality. There were moments when momentum threatened to shift, when errors crept in or when her opponent found brief success. Each time, Gauff reset quickly, using deep breaths and focused routines to regain control. She refused to rush, refused to panic, and instead trusted the work she has put in over the past year. This mental toughness has become her trademark, and it is a major reason why she continues to thrive on the biggest stages. As Gauff closed out her match, the applause from the crowd reflected more than just appreciation for a win. It was recognition of a player who has matured in front of the world, who has learned how to handle expectation, and who now carries herself with the confidence of a Grand Slam champion. Reaching the fourth round at the Australian Open is no small feat, and Gauff made it clear that she is not in Melbourne just to participate, but to contend. The significance of both Sabalenka and Gauff reaching the fourth round cannot be overstated. The Australian Open is notorious for its physical demands, with long matches, intense heat, and a relentless schedule that tests endurance as much as skill. To navigate the early rounds successfully requires not only talent but discipline, preparation, and mental strength. Both players have demonstrated all three in abundance. For Sabalenka, the fourth round represents another step in her quest to defend her title and cement her status as the dominant force in women's tennis. Each win brings added pressure, as every opponent is eager to dethrone the champion. Yet Sabalenka appears unfazed. Her focus remains internal, centered on her own game and her own standards. She has spoken repeatedly about learning to manage emotions, about staying present point by point, and those lessons are clearly paying dividends on court. For Gauff, this run is about momentum and belief. Having already tasted Grand Slam success, she now carries the confidence of knowing she can win at this level. The Australian Open presents a fresh opportunity, a new canvas on which to paint another chapter of her rapidly growing legacy. With each match, Gauff's belief seems to strengthen, and her game continues to sharpen. The broader context of the women's draw makes their progress even more compelling. Upsets have already reshaped sections of the bracket, opening doors for players ready to seize the moment. In such an environment, consistency becomes a rare and valuable commodity. Sabalenka and Gauff have provided exactly that, avoiding early round chaos and asserting themselves as steady, reliable contenders in a field filled with uncertainty. Fans around the world have taken notice. Social media has been buzzing with praise for Sabalenka's power and poise, while Gauff's athleticism and composure have sparked widespread admiration. Analysts have highlighted the contrast in styles between the two players, one built on raw force and controlled aggression, the other on speed, defense, and tactical versatility. Yet both share a common trait, an unshakable desire to compete and win. As the tournament moves into its second week, the stakes will only rise. Matches will grow longer, opponents tougher, and margins slimmer. Every point will matter, every decision magnified. For Sabalenka and Gauff, the challenge now is to maintain their level, to manage recovery, and to stay mentally sharp amid the growing spotlight. Looking ahead, potential matchups loom that could define the tournament. The possibility of seeing these stars face other top contenders has fans eagerly anticipating the drama to come. Each round brings the promise of high-quality tennis, and with Sabalenka and Gauff in the mix, the excitement is guaranteed. Beyond individual results, their success also speaks to the current strength and depth of women's tennis. The tour is filled with young talent and established champions, creating an environment where no match is a given and every win must be earned. Sabalenka and Gauff exemplify what it takes to rise above that depth, combining physical gifts with relentless work ethic and strategic intelligence. As Melbourne continues to buzz with energy, one thing is clear: Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff are not just surviving the Australian Open, they are thriving. Their journeys to the fourth round have been marked by authority, resilience, and moments of brilliance that remind us why we love this sport. The road ahead will be challenging, but if the performances so far are any indication, both players are more than ready for what lies ahead. Stay with Trending Update USA as we continue to bring you the biggest stories, the biggest moments, and the biggest names from the Australian Open. This is Stefan, and the tournament is only just heating up.